Hey everybody, in this video, I am in just a random neighborhood, and actually in Fishers, Indiana. And it's only random because we're not really talking about this neighborhood specifically. We're gonna talk about the neighborhood that I would recommend for you based on what it is that you're looking for and how we can actually go about doing that. So stay tuned. Hey everybody, I'm Jason Compton with the Compton Home Group. Welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time to the channel and you want to know everything there is to know about living, of course, in Fishers, Indiana, but also Indianapolis, Indiana, or nearby Noblesville, Indiana, any of the cities and towns that surround Indianapolis, then make sure you hit that subscribe button and also tap the little bell so you're notified every time we do a new video. Now, we have people reaching out to us from all over the country asking for recommendations about neighborhoods or cities and towns or someplace in Indianapolis. We get a lot of questions about a lot of things pertaining to what a person might be best fit for or what they might like the most. So if you have questions about any of those things at Indianapolis or any of the cities and towns surrounding Indianapolis, then make sure you reach out any way that you know how. We'll always have your back with those questions, and we'll certainly have your back when it comes time for you to make your move anywhere in the Indianapolis Metro. So again, I'm in a really random neighborhood. I know where I am in Fishers, but you might not. If you know these streets, maybe you do, but if you're not from here, you probably don't. Now, I'm in here because, for one, I was just kind of in the area to shoot this video, but this is a neighborhood that's actually really popular in Fishers, and it could be a fit for you. It might not, though, as well. So people will often, not always, but often ask about neighborhood recommendations. So they'll say something like, well, our budget is between $400,000 and $500,000, or $500,000 and $600,000. We want a 3-car garage. We want at least 4 bedrooms, and we want at least a third of an acre, and we want some woods behind the house. We want maybe a pond view, or we want something else like on a golf course, or maybe they don't want that many trees. Maybe they want something like that, or a very small yard, so they don't have as much to take care of. So people want a lot of different things, and it's really, really difficult oftentimes to pinpoint an exact neighborhood that's going to fit the bill for you. So if we're talking about especially a place like Indianapolis, oh my gosh, I mean, there's over 900,000 people in Indianapolis. Geographically, it's a very big place. So just recommending a few neighborhoods is pretty tough. And then even if you get into a place like Fishers, which is not small, there's about 100,000 people here in Fishers, it's pretty difficult to say visit these 5 neighborhoods because it's the perfect fit for you based on those things that you told me and the price range that you're looking at. That is difficult, because you can have a neighborhood just like this where a lot of these homes, they back right up to another home, so the lot could be small. Some of these maybe 2/10 of an acre, some of them are 3/10 of an acre or getting close to half an acre, somewhere in there. Some of them don't back up to another house. Some of them do back up to some trees or woods, or at least a pretty dense parcel of trees that goes to the next neighborhood over. So while the entire neighborhood as a whole, on average, might not be a really good fit for you, or at least for the house that you're looking for specifically, but the lot actually could be a pretty good fit. So narrowing it down to just maybe a handful of neighborhoods based on the overall feel of that neighborhood, sure, that can be done, but you might be missing out on some other homes that really could be a fit for you. So what I normally do when people ask for recommendations about neighborhoods is we'll take homes with 3-car garages that have closed, so these aren't homes that are even on the market, in the last 6 months to a year, somewhere in there, in your price range. So we can hopefully assume any homes that pop on the market are going to be pretty close to that price range whenever they do close, when you might be looking in the future. And homes that could certainly have a mix of the geography that you want, the topography of the trees, maybe the lack of trees, or older neighborhoods or newer neighborhoods. And I'll piece together basically a pretty good size list of neighborhoods that at least have some of those features in those homes, and you're going to get a variety then. So you can get the house address just so you can get into the neighborhood, because if I recommended 4 or 5 neighborhoods to you, well, it's kind of hard to find that neighborhood because a neighborhood doesn't really have an address. It is the homes in that neighborhood that's going to have the address. So you can go to this home that has closed, it's not available, it might be terrible, it might not be a home that you would ever consider, but then again, it might be perfect too. Who cares about that house? It's just that that neighborhood has homes that match your criteria or pretty close to it. And then you can get a feel for it. And what's even better is you can get a feel for the area that neighborhood's located in. So it might be an older area, more mature, and if that was kind of what you're looking for, bigger mature trees, then you might see some homes in there that could fit. Even, of course, you'll see some that don't. Or the entire neighborhood itself could be nice, but also the neighborhood next door or just over from it could be nice. You could get into a neighborhood that just maybe has a handful of homes that could fit you, but for the most part, most do not fit you, and then all the surrounding neighborhoods don't fit what you're looking for. It's been a really efficient way of getting somebody into a city, because most people don't have a year to explore where it is that you're trying to move to. Mine only have 2 or 3 days, which isn't very long to try to get to know a bigger city like Fishers, and it's definitely not a long time to get to know a city like Indianapolis. So it at least gives you an itinerary, some places to go, and on your way, driving from one house in a neighborhood to the next house in the next neighborhood, you get to see some of Fishers or Carmel or Greenwood or Plainfield, wherever it is geographically that you're looking around Indianapolis. While you are spending time looking at those neighborhoods, you get to see a little bit more of the landscape of just the entire city or town, which is kind of awesome. And then from there, people have absolutely started to narrow down areas that they're more interested in, like West Fishers. Well, West Fishers tends to be a little bit older, and it's because Fishers started on the western side. It's only Western Fishers now because Fishers has grown so much to the east that a lot of East Fishers is much newer. So that kind of feel is great for a lot of people, and you could recommend a ton of neighborhoods over there. And I usually do some homes that are in neighborhoods that I know have that particular feel. And then of course over in West Fishers, you're gonna get a little bit older, maybe a little bit more mature, and you can visit a lot of neighborhoods there to get the feel for it as well. So right off the bat, recommending just a handful of neighborhoods in a city is really not the best approach. It's better to give you a home that fits the bill for you in a variety of neighborhoods, because you could still find a home in that neighborhood that generally doesn't fit maybe the entire look that you're looking for, but the house really does. So you're not missing out on those, but also you get a chance to explore a lot of neighborhoods that maybe you wouldn't have considered in the past, or maybe it's close to the feel that you're looking for and it just maybe wasn't exactly envisioning, and maybe you end up liking it more than you ever thought you would. So if you're visiting the area, this is absolutely something that we can help out with in putting this list together for you to help you set up that itinerary. Because if you land in a city and you think, I'm going to explore this whole city in 2 or 3 days without a plan or specific places to go, you will end up just doing a lot of wandering around and not really know where you're going, where you've been, and it's pretty hard to get organized with your thoughts and to get a very good feel for what it is that you're seeing. So having this itinerary has been enormously helpful with clients in the past that we've helped. So if you're in that same boat, visiting, and you want specific neighborhoods, we can definitely put something like that together, but we're gonna keep it general because we definitely feel like it helps educate you a little bit more on the feel of a lot of those neighborhoods in any city that you're exploring, in Indianapolis itself, of course, but any city you're exploring that surrounds Indianapolis. So again, reach out if you're in that boat. We're absolutely happy to help you with that, and we'll catch you in the next one.